What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to Tour Life. Today is Tuesday, August 27th. Yuli is back with us, and shortly we will also have the two-time world champion Isaac Robinson joining us as well. We'll be going through everything. We'll be talking about what happened on MPO, what happened on FPO. We'll be talking about course design. We'll be going through all the big storylines, and we'll be opening up the end of the show to you guys, the viewers. If you are live here with us right now watching on YouTube, get ready, because you will be asking, we will be answering all the questions you fire at us. But before, today's episode is sponsored by Manscaped. Fellas, do you want your grooming routine to be a one and done deal? Well, the days of using the same trimmer for your face and your private parts are over, thanks to our friends at Manscaped. I always thought that was awkward, Yulia. I'm just going to throw it out there real quick. I always thought that was kind of weird. Like, as much as I cleaned, I don't know if that's a little too personal for you, but I'm just throwing it out there. They've come up with the ultimate package to keep your hairs trimmed from 12 to 6, introducing the Beard and Balls bundle featuring the Lawnmower 5.0 and the Beard Hedger. A trimmer for the moneymaker and another for the boys downstairs. Get 20% off plus free shipping when you use the code TOURLIFE at manscaped.com. For the premium grooming experience, trust Manscaped. First up, your balls' new best friend, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. With two interchangeable skin-safe blade heads, you can choose between a precise trim or a smooth finish. And did I mention it's waterproof? Yes, you can trim in the shower and avoid making a mess everywhere. Perfect for those of us who appreciate efficiency and time fast movement speed. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra ensures you're always looking your best below the waist, while the Beard Hedger takes care of everything above. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code TOURLIFE at manscaped.com. That is 20% off and free shipping with the code TOURLIFE at manscaped.com. No more juggling multiple tools or dealing with subpar results, just efficient, effective grooming wherever you need it. We were actually just talking about this earlier, Yuli. You're going to get one of those sent to you very soon, which is going to be very nice.
Need it. Look at this. Scruffing.
I know. I got one. So I have one for my beard, which is great. But the below the belt, I lost that one. Just found the package today because I'm doing some redesigning in the room. So very excited about that as well. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, we're ready with Isaac. All right. Well, without further ado, let's bring the man, the myth, the legend himself. I mean, heck, I just did a podcast this morning that was saying, if Isaac Robinson retired tomorrow, is he a Hall of Famer? What is going on? Isaac rejoins the show. Isaac Robinson, welcome. Congratulations, my friend. How are we doing here? Where are you at right now?
Do we have I think we might have a delay.
I don't know. Silas, how are we doing? Are we doing decent? No one can see or hear Isaac right now. Okay, a little reconnection. That's fine. Me and Yuli can talk. Isaac, we'll get you back in here a second.
Was that a real debate, whether he's a Hall of Famer or not?
Yes. You'll see it on Thursday on debate night, okay? You need to come on that show and start laying down the law, because I'm the only one that lays down the law on that show.
I'm in. Next week, I'm in.
Well, are you in?
Well,
yeah. I don't think you can say that.
I'm a little handcuffed.
Update the people on your situation right now.
Well, we're 2 days past the due date, and so we're just waiting. We're waiting. We had a false alarm last night. We went to the hospital super late. We thought it was the time. They're like, nope, not ready yet. Sent us home, and so yeah, we're still waiting, man. It's kind of a wild process, but I'm just chilling at home, and bags are packed and ready to go.
What's like the sleeping like? Are you kind of sleeping with one eye open almost?
I don't really sleep that much right now because I'm just I'm ready to go. I'm staying up pretty late. Her sleeping schedule is kind of wild because of the contractions and the stuff that she's going through right now. And so not a lot of sleep going on in the house, but we're both super excited and it's going to happen. It's coming soon.
It's got to be so crazy when it finally does happen to be like, holy smokes. Because I feel like if it's one of those things of where if it like, hey, you're gonna probably have your baby this date, and then it actually happens, like you don't really have that much time to like think about it. But now, like, you've had day after day, it's got to be so like, oh my gosh, it's actually happening.
Oh, crystal clear Isaac. I like this one.
Crystal clear Isaac Robinson. Look at that, with that $30,000 in his bank account. Look at that. Get that nice little Wi-Fi. Okay, so for those people that couldn't hear, I asked, where the heck are you right now? And you answered with?
We're in Warren, Ohio for an urban disc golf event.
Which is not Disney World. A little bit different. Celebration. The grind doesn't stop. You win your second world title, and you're on to the next thing already.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. So is this like a charity event, or what is this event that you're up there for?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I know we're going to be giving a clinic and vending, and then I think we have like a small tournament on Saturday. So
keep saying we. Is this you and your brother?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's the rest of the guys. So Alden, Gavin,
the whole crew's there.
The whole squad.
Well, that's fun. I mean, you guys can all celebrate together, I guess. That's cool. I mean, heck, Gannon did predict on last week that you were going to win. So it's kind of like no one can be really too upset when everyone is saying before the tournament that you're actually going to win the tournament.
That's true.
Okay, the first thing I have to ask, which I think is what everyone is, top of their mind, number one question. We see Ezra, his wife, a lot of times is on his bag to caddy. I think I've asked you before, like, who gets to have your dad as the caddy? And I think that was like the answer, right? It's like, well, Ezra has his wife. So that leads me to wonder, you're getting married soon.
Yes.
What is the caddy situation here? Is your dad getting the boot for the wife?
I think for majors, I think my dad still got the bag.
Okay.
I think for the rest of the year, though, my fiance and then future wife will carry the bag for
What's the record for Pops on the bag?
He's got to be good. He's got to be real good. He's got to be real good. 2
world titles and
a Champions Cup.
And a Champions Cup. Yeah. So he's got 3 majors on the bag.
In the past 2 years, 3 majors. And those are really the only ones he makes it out to. So he told me, he's like, I'm totally caddying for you at USDGC this year. I was like, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you are.
Lock that in. In.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pay to fly him out to Europe next year.
So that's sweet. So we saw the Facebook comment where someone was basically made like a funny meme about you watch Isaac play and you think to yourself like, how is this guy a world champion? And then you watch him at Worlds and you think to yourself like, how is he not winning at every tournament? And you responded same. Like, is there something to be said about having your dad on the bag that makes that much of a difference between normal Pro Tour events and majors?
I think there definitely is. He's somebody I can just talk through my game plan, kind of strategize with him. I can complain to him, which is big. And I can just kind of have casual conversation, which is great. And that really puts my mind at rest and allows me to focus more heavily on the course and on the shots that I'm throwing. And so I think he definitely has a good influence on my game.
Okay, so this is hypothetical. I'm not even going to talk about the fact that Innova is some for some reason promoting Isaac Robinson a lot right now on social media. We'll let the rumors fly around on that one. They also did post that Evelina video at Texas Roadhouse, which is like, what are we doing here? But let's just throw a hypothetical out, okay? This is a contract year. Your contract is going to be up. You're going to sign with someone, whether it's back with who you're currently with or with a brand new person. Is there a dollar amount that someone signs you that you go, Dad, you're going to caddy for me at every event? Like, is there some sort of dollar amount that makes sense for that to happen?
I think for me, absolutely. Because if I play better with him there, that means I'm winning more, making more money anyway. So the cost of having him there would be, basically nothing. I think for him though, you know, I'm the oldest of 8, so he still has, I think, 5 kids at home.
Yuli's like, I'm about to have one.
Yeah, if you need some advice, talk to him, Yuli.
Wait, how many brothers and sisters besides Ezra?
So we have 7 brothers and 1 sister. So 8 total.
How many play disc golf? How many play disc golf? Real
Are
quick.
we going to see 6 more guys come on
in
tour
the top
and crush us?
10?
I don't think so. They play pretty casually.
Okay.
They kind of. I think Ezra and I spoiled it for him a little bit. You know, that was like all we did, and they're like, we don't want to be like that. So
yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, but you know, he still has a lot of kids to raise. You know, wife at home, and I don't think she'd be very happy with him traveling all the time with me.
Okay. So
I'll have to ask my mom.
wait, I got an idea. Splitsy, half the payment goes to him. All of a sudden, maybe Mama's like, yeah.
Wait a
Sounds
second.
like a good deal.
This isn't that bad after all. This is very nice. It was very cool to kind of just see. I'll say this. There has been a massive shift in the amount of people that are using caddies now. For whatever reason, when I first came on tour, people were always told me like, I don't want to have a caddy. I don't want to have a caddy. And like, I always thought that was crazy because it's like, bro, the bag itself is like, it's 4 or 5 rounds carrying your bag. Like that definitely adds up. But then also just like having someone there that you can talk to, like that's also very advantageous. So I love that the shift we're seeing on the Pro Tour where people are now like finding caddies, whether it's, you know, because back in the day, Yuli, wasn't it just like the only time you'd ever see someone caddy is if your friend finished the round previously and then they would like hop on your bag on like hole 16 or something?
No, for sure. Either that or you're in your home state and then when friends can do it. But besides that,
no one was doing caddies.
You never really saw it. I mean, a few of us would. I've always been a pro caddy guy, you know, and so I would always find like a local or something who would want to pick up the bag.
Yeah.
I always thought that caddies were essential in playing good.
Was there a caddy for everyone on the lead card? I think so, right? No, Calvin
usually carries his own.
Yeah, I think Melton was.
There.
Yeah, Melton was there,
but he was handing him the bag. I saw that.
Yeah, Calvin still carries it. So.
Hey, enough caddy talk. Let's get into the real business.
Let's get into the meat. Let's go.
Isaac, I don't think I watched however many championships in my life. And from start to finish, like the look that you had was so focused. Is there something different about World Majors that pop you into that crazy zone? Because it's a different Isaac Robinson. For sure. I mean, even watching, because luckily I get to commentate most every single tournament. So I get to see the players, see the reactions to the shots, the approach to the tee shots, the approach to the putts. And you're just different when it comes to majors. I remember seeing it last year. We watch it and I'm like, how is anybody going to beat this guy? Champions Cup. How's anybody going to beat this guy? And from start to finish this tournament, same thing. We saw a little glimpse of it at Idlewild, but then obviously we saw also what happened. Yeah. And that didn't even seem like a possibility at this tournament. So where's the mindset of Isaac Robinson going into these tournaments? Is it now just a complete belief system? Oh, this tournament's mine. Like I'm the man.
I think it's part of that. I was extremely confident heading into the week. And it was interesting. I was talking with Gavin Babcock on the way. We had gone to do something. We were driving back, and I told him, I was like, isn't it funny that if you focused, very carefully on each shot for the World Championships, you could win if you just because so many times on the course we're out there and we're just throwing like careless shots, especially on a golf course. You're like, oh, just throw it out into the field. You'll be fine. But if you actually think about the shot, I want to place it right there, and you can execute that shot. And I told Gavin, I was like, I'm going to try to do that this week. I'm going to try to focus on each and every shot, where I want to put it. And if I can do that for, 300 shots for the weekend, I'll probably win. And so that was kind of my mindset kind of going into it, of just taking my time, thinking about each shot very carefully, and executing my game plan. And so I think this week that was something I haven't been doing all year, and so this week it really ended up clicking really well. And it's kind of hard to do that on a week-to-week basis because there's so many tournaments and it's hard to have that mental capacity, week in and week out. But I think that's how the great athletes do it, is they do have that mental capacity.
Well, one thing that I've noticed that I think this is the first time it's happened, maybe ever. And I think we saw a little glimpse of it with Nate Doss about how he showed up at the majors. He won other Elite Series as well. But if you look at his record through his career, he didn't win a lot, but he won the big ones, And when I look at your career, we're not going to, until now, obviously after this weekend, now you're that guy. But we look at Gannon, we look at AB and the season that they're having, and all this firepower out there with Calvin and Ricky and all these people getting wins, and you kind of get lost in the shuffle a little bit, But then a major championship starts, and now you're the man to beat. I truly believe that now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've seen that since maybe Dawson. That's probably a horrible reference, but we have seen that in traditional golf. There's certain guys who are just major grinders, right? Mm-hmm. Who show up and okay, this guy's going to be there. Like Angel Cabrera, for example, never wins a tournament. All of a sudden he's in the mix every single tournament, no matter what. What do you feel like you can be the best player in the world? Or are you content with, no, I just want to win the majors and I don't care what anybody thinks about me?
Yeah, I think looking at my career and what I want it to be, majors are a huge part of that. Elite Series are so common. They almost feel like warm-up weeks for majors. Majors are the ones that count. Majors are the ones that people will remember looking at your career. And, that's not a knock against Elite Series necessarily. But I do think that majors are the ones to win. And they're the ones that people are going to look back on and be like, yeah, this guy won, 16 majors. Who cares how many Elite Series Paul has won? It's countless. It's so many. And his career is defined by majors. And so that's something I want my career to be as well.
Yeah. I think, too, hopefully we're starting to see a shift in what courses ask at majors. To me, I think Elite Series, you can have certain specific tournaments that are, hey, this is a really short wooded course. Hey, this is a really long open course. Where Worlds, it's no, this is a course that you need to have multiple skills over the course of multiple days. Now, you did mention the confidence, and we talked about this last week about how you were feeling really good going into it. Gannon even talked about it as well. Did that have to do a lot with what the course was asking? There was really only one hole that jumps out at me in both courses where it's you kind of need to have a big forehand, and that's hole 16. Other than that, it's really 16 at New London, that is, sorry.
Yeah.
Other than that,
both rounds, by the way.
With a backhand or a forehand?
Backhand.
How?
It did get lucky.
Did you get lucky through the right side,
through
both
the right
sides?
side, yeah.
Yes. But I did get it both.
Commandos on these courses! Commandos on these courses! But yeah, what were you stepping up to these holes in practice and thinking to yourself I'm never messing up the shot? Is that where the confidence was on a lot of this?
Yeah, New London especially. My third round or the third round at New London wasn't the best round ever, but there was the confidence on those holes. It's such a good course, and I love courses that
shot 7 under, by the way, for those wondering.
Yeah. Having a course where if you hit the line, there's nothing in the way. I just love that. You see that at Jackson. You see that, I think it's the Monster in Tampere a little bit.
Okay. Some of the holes at Northwood.
Some of them. But you see that a lot at New London as well. And so that's the kind of golf that I love. And so there was just a level of confidence that if I just hit this big initial gap, I'm going to get where I want to be.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and we kind of discussed it a little bit about, were you playing safe? And like, if you look at your final round, or if you look at really Ivy, for example, like there's only 2 holes that you're playing for par that you could say that you're playing safe, right? 5 and 16. Those are the only 2. But to be fair, like the majority of the field is playing the same exact way that you were playing those holes, because 5 was nearly impossible to birdie for 90% of the field, and same with 16. Like 16, you were basically throwing a roller and had to get somewhat lucky with your angle to be in bounds, right? So I didn't really see it as like, oh, he was playing the course way better than everyone else. I just think you figured out what shots worked the best for you, and you just executed them very well. And it seemed like you never really like. 2 things. One, it seemed like you never really like exploded on any holes. And then the way that Ivy was set up, there were so many holes. This is the one like course critique, and I would love to hear your opinion. There were, in my opinion, a lot of holes that were quote unquote fluky, where either the greens were way too tight, or 14, for example. I mean, I'm sure you saw your brother's post saying that was the worst hole he's ever played. Now, maybe a little heat of the moment with what happened, but there was a couple holes out there where we were all throwing our shots, that you included. When you threw your shot on hole 14, everyone just like, regardless of how well you throw it, we all just kind of hold our breath, because it's like if you hit a rock, you could be screwed. So did you feel like that also is a huge part, is like you never really let bad breaks or any of those kind of fluky things like make you have a blow up hole out there? Because I mean, you didn't take a bogey until round 3, which is crazy. And then
that was a 3-putt.
and then you had one double, which was on the fluky hole, number 6. And that was it, which is like pretty incredible for the way that course was set up.
Yeah, I think going into like hole 14 specifically, my game plan, knowing that it was a very fluky green, I wanted to be as close as I could get to the hill so that I had a super easy jump putt approach. I didn't want to be throwing a full shot or a forehand or any sort of backhand into that green. And so I knew I had to be within 80 feet to execute my game plan. And as far as hole 6 goes, when I got the double, I did the one thing you couldn't do, and that was to throw it right. The miss is left. If you go left, it's a guaranteed bogey. There's nothing you could, that's the worst you're going to get. And so, with the exception of hole 6, in the 4th round, I felt like I really did a good job of kind of mitigating the flukiness of the courses. You get bad rolls, especially on hole 10 out of Ivy. I think it was the 2nd round. We were halfway down the fairway when the spotter waved red for Anthony's shot. So it was rolling for legitimately 20 seconds down the hill.
Can I jump in real quick?
Yeah.
Yuli, the spotter on hole 10, I've never seen this before. He was live flag showing. So you would throw the disc. I played with Gavin Rathbun, same kind of thing. He threw the disc. The spotter, as soon as the disc landed, green flag roll in his hair. And then literally 10 seconds later, we're watching the spotter on the fairway walk with the green flag in the air. And then like 10 seconds later, red flag in the air. We're like, what? And he's still walking down the fairway, red flag. And then 3 seconds later, green flag. Like he was literally going as the disc was going inbounds.
That's awesome.
I had never seen it before, but it was kind of electric actually at the time. But yeah, that hole, Isaac, was crazy. It's just like you kind of just threw the disc and you just hoped that nothing crazy happened.
Mm-hmm.
This course design, when I was watching it, how it played out, especially at a major championship, I thought was perfect. And I've heard a lot of like bad feedback, just like reading stuff online and different things. But I think this is the right thing, because what somebody should be able to do is get a lead at a major, play solid, throw it in bounds, play for par, and make the other guys catch you. And in order for them to catch you, they have to throw perfect shot after perfect shot. They can't just wait for you to make a mistake, right? I think it's a brilliant course design because of that, because nobody in a major should be punished for taking pars on hard holes when you can't, when it's like, if you go after it, you can get the birdie, but it's so hard. I watched that unfold the final round where you were just placing it in bounds perfectly, and you were placing it in spots where you could make a decision, oh yeah, I can go for this now because they went for it, or I can lay up depending on what they were doing. And a lot of them were just pressing too hard and going out of bounds over and over and over again and really making it kind of easy on you, which I felt like is the way majors should be won. Like somebody either has to take it, but I don't want to see this crazy birdie fest. You know what I mean?
Well, let's ask Isaac, because, you know, anyone that doesn't win a tournament, if they complain about something with the course design, everyone's just going to say, well, it's because you didn't win. You won. Yeah. So if you could right now say, you know, Ivy's going to probably be, it might be the only course that the Tour Championship is next year. If New London, the back nine gets, you know, obliterated, it might just be all Ivy next year for the Tour Championship. If you could make a couple changes, if any, like what are you doing to make that course better in your opinion after dominating and winning against the field?
Yeah, I think a couple things that stand out. Take out hole 6 completely. It's a bad hole. It's a filler hole. And there was no way to get a good shot, I felt like. You could make good putts for sure. You know, you could make a 40-footer, and that was impressive. But there's no way to throw a good shot off the tee. I think 17 also, bad hole. The tree limbs there was way too many tree limbs. The back OB was way too close. So anytime anytime you cleared the water, if you weren't hit, like skipping off the water was the most effective shot. Yeah. Which I don't think that's not a shot that requires skill, but it's not a shot that you should be throwing necessarily. And that could be a personal opinion, but push that OB back on 17, trim up the branches, and then it's okay. 14, I think around the basket needs to be leveled out. Create like a bullseye landing zone where it's flat, where you have gravel, wood chips, or something.
Mulch or something, yeah.
So you can pitch up. I love the rest of the green. I think it's great, but you need to have a safe pitch up zone. And other than that, I think the course has a lot of really good potential. I love the property. It's a beautiful venue. And yeah, I really did enjoy a lot of the holes out there. I think hole 5, push it back to a par 5.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bit too hard, I think. You know, I saw a lot of people birdie it that I was playing with, but
I don't know if hard's the right word. It requires you to throw like a 550-foot drive. And if you don't throw a 550-foot drive, you can't birdie it.
Yeah. And it kind of makes it boring to watch, I think, as a spectator.
Because everyone's just playing for par.
Everybody's just pitching up.
Yeah. It was a great hole for FPO, actually, because where they were landing their tee shots, their second shot was still pretty tough to get it into. Silas got up for us because they played it as a par 5. So they played it the same way like me and you were playing it, right? You just throw a little hyzer out there, you chip up, and then you throw through that little gap, right? But for them, the distance was really good to where they actually had to throw 3 good shots. Where for us, you throw 1 good shot, you're in the fairway, and then it's just like an easy chip, par, boring hole. What are your thoughts on hole 4? Silas, can you bring that up? I'm curious to what you think on that. Do you think that was fluky at all with the landing zone?
I do. When I first played it, I thought it was very tight and a little unnecessary. As the week went on, I realized there was a really good line for the backhand. you just push the tree line the whole way with something overstable. And if you throw it low, you're going to get that skip over the hay bales. And there's also that right side that's open, so you can just skip kind of right into the basket. I think if you wanted to take out the flukiness of it, if you want to make it more fair, put the hay bales in the back and then just create kind of this open island where either you're in it or you're not. And that way, some people don't skip into the hay bales or hit the hay bales or skip over the hay bales. It's a little more fair, I think, if you were to put the hay bales in the back.
I think if they would do what hole, I think it's hole 9 at Ledgestone, the bridge hole, where it's a very similar kind of design of like a very small like green right there. Remove, I'm with you. Remove the hay bales and make all that hazard tall grass. So at the bridge hole, if you threw short, there was no like, oh, I hope I get a skip in back. Look, no, you're dead. And I think they could do that on that hole too. Now, issue it's on a golf course, they can't adjust the grass length, right? So like that's the big issue. But I'm with you. I think you're spot on with all your requirements. I think 18. I don't know how you do it, but I would have loved to see some way of making an eagle chance just for like a little bit of drama. I know AB threw his second shot over the freaking houses and was like, I don't know, 100 feet short or something. But like if there was some way of making that an eagle chance, I think that would add a little bit of excitement down the stretch. But other than that, I think it's pretty spot on.
What about 14? That's the big talk of the week. Do you like it, Isaac?
I actually do. I think it's a good hole. At first, I was thinking that only the big arms could get it. I was thinking people only like AB, Calvin, Gannon, Ricky. And Nicklaus changed my mind on that. You saw him go the aggressive inside line, which was a legitimate line that I did not see many people take, but it was totally there. And he got way up the fairway to the left and just had a little kind of chip hyzer up to 40 feet. Then the whole putt thing. That
branch, though, we can all agree that branch is. There's a branch on the inside line it's the inside line's kind of a blind shot. You can't really see the gap off the tee. It's actually a beautiful shot because you would love it because there's like a little hill. So if you go too low, you're dead. But there is a branch there, and if you watch shots, like everyone's shot is kind of like going through it. And some people go through it clean, some people don't. So I would take that out. But
I think level the basket, around the basket, like
just take all those rocks out.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But even if you had leveled the basket with like an 8-foot diameter, even a putt like Nicklaus's that hit dead center wouldn't come rolling all the way back down the hill because it would hit on that flat spot and it would stay there. So you would get a lot more safe runs for the birdie. And I think that would be really beneficial for that hole.
Did you see James Proctor's roll away on that hole from 15 feet?
It was ridiculous. Yeah. I don't know what these baskets are, but they...
That one in particular didn't love some people.
Yeah, crazy. The wife has forgotten that I have a podcast right now. Okay. Continue on. So two-time world champion. I asked you last week, like, what would that mean? You are now, hey, shout out real quick, Barry Schultz. That was a name that we forgot to add to that list. So it's Ken Climo, Ricky Wysocki, Paul Macbeth, and Barry Schultz, only to ever go back-to-back at a world championship. So what does that mean to you now joining that, exclusive
Didn't
group?
Harold Duvall too, back in the 80s, I think he did it. Anyways, keep on.
If you want to throw him in there, Yuli, throw him in there. But like, what does that mean now that you are now in that exclusive group with those guys?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy if I'm being honest. Growing up watching Paul win in 2012 and then through 2016 2015 was just crazy because it was like, wow, like this guy is insane. Nobody's ever done this. This is crazy. And I was there in 2017 watching when Rick took it down for the second time in Georgia. I remember getting a picture with him, and I was like, man, this is so cool. Like, I'm here with the two-time world champion, and it just doesn't seem real, you know? And I think I've said that a lot, but life for me hasn't really changed, and I don't think it will change a whole lot necessarily, but just knowing there's somebody out there watching and be like, oh, like Isaac won 2 times in a row, and having that same feeling that I had watching Paul and Ricky is kind of weird to be thinking that people are kind of thinking that about me. And it's just a huge honor. It really is just a crazy honor to have my name up, you know, with those people.
I think the crazy thing is, and I don't know if you've thought about this, is I still think disc golf is very in its like early years. Now, that doesn't mean that I think it's going to be massive, but I think it has the, like, I don't think it's reached its potential. I don't know what its potential is. I just don't think it's reached it. And so, like, you're kind of in the early years of where you just won back-to-back majors. You're not going on Part of My Take. You're not going on ESPN. You're not going on Good Morning America. You're not doing a lot of these things that like traditional top 4 sports you would do if you had won just 2 world championships, right? So,
but you are on tour life, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, you're on tour life. Hey. But 40 years from now, like, if disc golf all of a sudden became as big as skateboarding or as big as lacrosse or as big as, you know, soccer in the United States, for example, people are going to look back at the history and your name is going to be there and you're going to be known as like, oh my gosh, this was one of the greats at the beginning of disc golf. Like, that to me is a crazy thing to kind of think about.
And that's the thing I can't quite wrap my head around, just because, yeah, like, it just doesn't feel real that's part of disc golf history, you know?
Yeah. It's nutty. Does this do anything for negotiations in the off season? Have you thought about that at all?
I think it, you know, I was talking to Gannon. He's like, dude, you saved your off season. And I kind of agree. You know, I was, you know, top 10 player, you know, sitting in the top 10 in points, had some good finishes here and there, but this, I think, looks very, very good on a resume. Heading into a contract year, you know, not only back to back, but, you know, wire to wire at World Championships. And I'm looking to close out the season, you know, the rest of the season really strong as well. So, yeah, hopefully this isn't the last one this year, but even if it is, I think it's a great addition to the resume looking at contracts in the offseason.
Do you care about Player of the Year? Does that do anything for you?
For me personally, that is a goal, to get Player of the Year at some point in my career. You know, contract wise, I think that would also do a lot for me. But that's a long way off. You know, I'd have to.
Yeah. What do you have to do to beat Gannon this year?
I think if I have to beat, I think I got to win Green Mountain, USDGC, and maybe the Tour Finals. And then maybe we can talk. But then again, it might be the same thing as last year, where was the consistency there, and it hasn't been this year. So, Gannon's had an extremely consistent year, and so I think that's tough to beat at the end of the day.
Yeah, nutty. You got anything else for the man?
I think he's got everything he needs.
Yeah, well, I know he's busy. He's going to pop on, I think, Smashbox after this. So if you guys want to listen to more Isaac, go check him out. Oh, thank you, Salas. Oh, my gosh, we almost forgot. We did not have these last time you were on. So let's pull these up. Shout out to Edwin Stats. We've got Isaac's attributes here. These are your NFL Madden rankings, if you will. So I would love to hear your opinion on these. So we've got scoring at 95, power at 92, accuracy at 98, which I think is the highest we've seen, scramble at 90, and putting at 86. DGPT rank number 6 overall, 93. The average for MPO is 85. How do you feel about that?
I like the look of that power, though. That's pretty good. 90 is pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, people talk about it all the time. Like, there are people that don't think you throw far, and it's like, you guys have never played with him. Like, if you think Isaac doesn't throw far, you've never played with him.
I don't throw flashy shots, that's for sure.
Yeah, like you're not throwing these crazy shots in the air that do weird stuff. You get to the point.
I got 500 pretty easily.
Yeah.
What do you? Anything on there kind of jump out at you as maybe you would want a different score, or maybe a little too high or a little too low?
I think the scramble is a bit high. I'm one of those people that if there's anything in my backswing, I don't know what I'm doing. If I'm pinched, if I have to do like a patent pending, I get a little shanky. Thankfully, I didn't have many of those this week, so you didn't really get to see it. But that's one part of my game that I'm really working on.
Edwin just said this week you led in scramble.
So that wasn't in much danger.
So you will not be voting for the new PDGA rule of standstill only zones?
Is that a rule?
No, I just made that up.
I mean,
that sounds horrible.
It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me if they proposed that.
Yeah, who knows? They might do anything. The one thing that jumps out to me though is putting. I will say, like, where are you at on putting? Do you consider yourself one of the best putters on tour? Because I feel like when you're winning, and when I see you, like, I go back to Idlewild. I think I got to play with you one of those rounds, and I don't think I saw you miss a putt. And then you just continued throughout. So, like, in my head, like, after that round, I was like, Isaac's one of the best putters in the world. But Edwin just threw up here. You currently are 26 in C1X and 43rd in C2. So, like, the numbers aren't really aren't adding up to where my head is. So, like, where are you at with putting?
Putting is very hit or miss for me. I think that when I'm playing very, very well, the only putts I have to make are like 20 feet and in. So, this week I felt like I was just tapping them in from 15, 20 feet, like, all week. And I did have some good circle 2 makes, but it's one of those things that I always have to be practicing, because since my putt is a little different, it's a very spinny putt. The release point has to be exactly right. And if that's a little bit off, then my putting kind of goes out the window, it feels like. So something I have to stay on top of. And if I stay on top of it, I think I am one of the better putters in the world. But if it's off, it's bad.
How good does it feel to know that little brother isn't going to catch you this year too? Like, you got that world title and you kind of just slammed the door, because he was having himself a season.
Yeah. I think the big thing he cares about is DGPT points. So I got him by like 50. Ooh. And I'm going to try to carry that into the end of the year. But I just want to see him take one down. I want to be there.
I think we all do.
Things. So, but I don't want him to win one that I'm winning. So
you're like, wait for an off week.
Contention if
give me an off week here. No, that was definitely exciting to play. Spoiler: Hunter Thomas has now named you as his favorite player. What does that mean to you?
Let's go. That means the world. He got to spend a lot of time with him this week, which is cool. So it was good to get to know him a little bit better, and those guys are just a lot of fun over there.
Yeah, I when it comes to it, everyone's talking about, hey, we need the right person to lead disc golf in the right way, and like, we want to make sure this one wins because we like the way he, like, to me, the fact that you play fast, that's all I care about, man. That's all. Like, if we have these 10, 15-year-olds watching and they're seeing you step up, putt, step up, throw a shot, because I don't know their names, but there was a couple youngsters out there, and I mean, they're just taking so much time. They're taking so much time. And I'm like, we need more people to look at Isaac and be like, hey, we should start playing like that.
Sweet.
Yeah, a little fast, little pace of play situation. Any new pet peeves? Anything jump out at you after this tournament, Worlds? Anything? I mean, I'm sure there were some pet peeves for people that were there, spectator-wise, in the chat, and we'll get to that maybe later in the episode. But anything jump out at to you?
One thing I would like to see, and this may be unrealistic, but I would love to see a PDGA official spotter on a lot of holes. Like, I think we should almost make that a standard, because there was at least 3 holes in that final round where the card, we didn't have a spotter, or we had a spotter that didn't have a good view, and we had to make some tough calls in the heat of the moment. And when you're kind of competing for a world title, those are tough calls to make. I think we ended up making the right calls on the out of bounds, but
how scary was that one coming down the stretch? Because that could have been a big time number.
Oh yeah, on the one on 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty certain that I saw it cross, and
it was in.
Yeah, went back, and Nicholas was saying, he's like, I don't know if it crossed up there. I think it crossed down here, and I was like, I don't think we can say with full confidence that it, didn't hit up here. And so I ended up taking it up by the basket.
Wait, I overheard it was 2v2, right? Who else said it? They didn't think you were made it
throw
in.
him under the bus.
It was kind of a toss-up. So Luke Taylor he was like, I'm pretty sure it crossed up here. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's crossed. And Calvin was like,
I don't know.
I didn't really see it. I don't really, wasn't sure exactly if you hit it or not. And so Rebecca Duffy was like, all right, that's a tie. But if it goes to the player.
Gotcha.
And so I'm glad we made the right call. If we had made the wrong call, I would have felt pretty bad. But that's just kind of what goes down in those situations. But if we had a PDGA official spotter, because they have those, we use them occasionally. I think that would make the calls a little easier.
Was that pretty scary? Being in that situation, because you had just bogeyed, right?
Yeah, you bogeyed a whole 9.
And so now all of a sudden you don't get that call. Mm-hmm. You're way back there.
Nicholas has also birdied the last 3 holes.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he was parked for birdie on 10. So that's 4 strokes in 2 holes. Yeah, that's pretty scary.
And then what was the feeling? One last question before you go, because I forgot that I wanted to ask you this
Can I just throw a hot take? Because I'm gonna talk about this later, but real quick, just to answer Isaac's reason why I don't think that exists, of why there aren't PDGA marshals all over the place.
Yeah,
they're on vacation, brother. Worlds is a PDGA vacation, brother. I just get to drive around a cart. I've got a couple stories to confirm that, but we'll talk about that later. You guys know I love the PDGA.
So on 14, you throw kind of a leaky up shot. I'm going to be honest. It leaks into the thing. It's on roll, hits the rock, stays there. What were you like? We all know Nicholas is making that. Mm-hmm. And then he makes it, and that thing's rolling down the hill. What's going through your mind? Like, oh, that sucks, but
Yeah, it's one of those where
it's a weird feeling, right?
It's a very weird feeling because you hate to see something like that.
Yeah.
I would rather outplay my opponent every time than have him get bad luck or throw bad shots. I want to beat him because I'm better, not because he screwed up. But at the same time, there's like, whew, all right, instead of losing a stroke, I have a stroke now.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Did you feel like you had it under wraps after that?
Yes. And then I hit the first tree on 15, and I was like, all right, let's not get too relaxed about it. But then, especially after 16, I felt like I had pretty much locked it down.
Yeah, it's kind of like you never root for injuries, but in the heat of the moment, you're kind of like, oh, that's going to make it a little easier moving forward, right?
For sure.
So, you're never rooting for someone to have terrible luck. But when it does happen, you're kind of like, oh, well, better.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take the stroke.
Yeah, better you than me.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. But it's something you hate to see. And, I thought it looked like a good putt. and just got that unfortunate spit out.
The crazy thing about that hole is like we never really saw like a semi roll away. There was never like we see that a lot where Evelina on hole 18 looked like she was about to have a roll away, and then all of a sudden the disc just stopped, which was we'll get to that in a second later on. But that hole is like if your disc started rolling, it was rolling 100 feet away. There was never it just rolled to circle's edge. I can still maybe make a putt for par. It was like, no, you're getting
100 feet.
It was.
James scary upshot.
James Proctor was going back to the tee, all the way down the sidewalk to the tee. It was crazy. It was nuts. Yeah, it's the way that they had set up. It was a very, very weird hole. Very weird hole. But I mean, hey, you'll take him when you can. And like you said, like Nicklaus makes that putt. I think it gets a little bit more exciting for us watching down the stretch. I still think you win, though.
I think so. I don't think I fluffed the upshot on 15 into the tree. I still play for par on 16.
I think you played it for par on 17, right?
I don't know how to play that one for par, if I'm being honest. I never practiced that, so I think I still go for it. And if he sticks the island and I don't, then we have 2 strokes going to 18, and I'll just take my par and get out of there. So
yeah,
I think that
you had too many strokes on him down the stretch. He would have had to play absolutely perfect, which birding 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, like that's a tough task.
But he makes that putt on 14. It's a 2-shot. It's only 2 shots.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know, but Isaac's saying Isaac's probably birding 15.
Yeah. Gotcha.
The pressure was pretty much off once he bogeyed 14.
Yeah.
Moving forward. Four shots and 4 holes. It's like, man, let me just limp across the finish line here. Size, do we have this graphic real quick before we let him go? I don't know if you've seen this. EDWIN Stats has been tracking this all year. The Isaac versus Ezra battle. So I figured we'd throw this up there. I don't know if Ezra's watching or maybe he'll watch after the fact, but you could show this to him. So for our listeners, we've got the average event finish for Isaac at 18.7. For Ezra is actually 16.6. Top 10 finishes, 7 for Isaac, 6 for Ezra. And then looking down here, you guys are very close. I mean, you're 43% birdie rate. Ezra's 42. You're 81% fairways hits. He's 80. I mean, you guys are almost identical. If you look at these stats, like literally, you're almost identical. His C2 putting is 31. Yours 28. Some random stats here. Isaac is one of only 7 players to rank in the top 15 in fairways, C1 in greens and regulation, C2 in greens and regulation. You also only have 1 podium finish in 2024 after 7 in 2023. And then for Ezra, his random stats, one of only 5 players in PO to rank in the top 10 in fairways hit and C2 in greens and regulation. He has 3 podium finishes this year after only 1 coming at DMC. So, wow.
It's funny how that works too, because your guys' styles are a little, to me, for the eye test, are complete opposites. Like it's like power, aggression, just firing the putter, and then you're just kind of picking apart spots and like kind of a floaty putt. He's a little fiery on the course. You seem to keep it together a little more. Pretty funny how that works out, and then it's like just pretty even across the board.
I think that just tells you, like, do what works best for you.
Yeah.
Like so many people try to change their game to match other people and try to change their form to match other people. It's like, figure out what works best for you and then just grind it into the wall. Because people were saying, Isaac, you were spotted multiple times practicing out there after some rounds.
Yep.
So
I think after every round, we went through some more.
Yeah. So I mean, that at the end of the day, it's like just practice, get that confidence, get those reps, and maybe one day, probably not, but maybe one day you'll be a 2-time back-to-back world champion as well.
How many do you think you can win? Last question before you what's the mark? Because you got to be setting one at this point. You're like, okay, I got 2. I've been on the tour for like 3 years.
Yeah. I think I would like to retire with 5.
It's a good
5
number.
world titles.
Yep.
It's a good
Dang,
number.
not try. Set it at 8, and maybe you'll get to 6.
All right, fine. 7. I'll go for the record. Or
Yeah.
Paul's record, at least.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That is nuts. Yeah, to think about like 10 years from now, you're going to be in your mid 30s and you could be like trying to win your 5th one.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
nuts.
That's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
I don't want to think about that yet.
That's crazy. Yeah, you got to think about your tournament coming up this weekend. The big boy.
Yeah, gotta take down. I think it's a C tier.
All right, you got. I don't know how many people we got watching here. We got over 1,000 people watching, 1,200 plus. Any sponsors? Any shout outs? Any disc? Anything for the people?
Yeah, I want to thank Prodigy. We got some cool 2-time merch dropping. We got some cool discs, so check those out. I think they dropped today, actually. So check those out. It's huge support for me. One I really want to thank is Vessi. The shoes I've been wearing all year. Just a super cool company to work with, and really great shoes as well. So, and then other than that, 1010 Discs, great retail company, and Circle One Disc Golf for the polos. So,
Is that the guy that came up and said something to you after your round?
which one?
I don't know. Someone in the chat told me to ask you what the person after your round said to you.
There's a lot of people talking to me after the round.
I know. What they say? Hold on. Let me see if I can get their name. What was their name? I forgot. I thought it was it UC. Did UC say something? Dark Horse? Like, hey, see you in 2025.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see.
Oh, I have to wait and see. Okay, fair enough. Let the rumor mill start spreading, folks. But there you have it. 2-time world champion. Where's oh my gosh, you're trying to do it in international waters next year.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even think about that. You're going to try to defend a three-peat situation over in Europe. That's going to be electric.
Crowds might not be as friendly if me and Nicholas are at it again.
I know. You could go Champions Cup. No, it's not Champions Cup. It's European Open. Can we just real quickly say that's stupid that we're doing back-to-back majors?
Yes.
Very stupid.
Like, whoever decided that was a good play, like, I just want to apologize to whoever wins the European Open, because 2 days after you win, no one cares.
Just win them both.
Yeah, I guess so, right? Just go out and win them both. All right, brother. We won't take up any more of your time. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. You're always welcome back on here. Everyone loves when you jump on here. Appreciate it, man. Go enjoy it. Tell the guys I say what's up, and we'll see you next time, brother.
Yep. Sounds good.
All right, Isaac. You're 2-time world champion, soon to be 7-time world champion. He is going on Smashbox next. So, Caden, if you want to go watch some more of Isaac, you can go check out Smashbox, who will be having more Isaac Robinson. Yuli, you said you had a bounce potentially?
Yeah,
I don't want to hold you.
Let's do a quick recap of the worlds.
Okay.
And then I think I gotta go. Yeah, the wife is upstairs having a tough time. So
all right. I will quickly, I mentioned this actually on Whatnot, but I know a lot of people don't follow me over there. So I will quickly say exactly what went down. My Twitter has been hacked, for those that don't know. So I haven't been able to tweet out anything. But let me just quickly tell everyone what down so everyone knows moving forward. So I'm playing hole 15, the par 5. You're playing up the golf tee boxes. And then you go into kind of the wooded area in between holes. So in a golf course, you would never step foot in that. You're actually just driving around the cart path. You would never go into it, right? So I am 100 feet away from the basket. It's directly uphill, probably actually more steep than any other of the hills that we play on all week. Gavin is right next to me. He goes first. He throws his shot up there, lands, boom. I go second. I do the exact same thing, throw my shot up there. It hits a root, hits a rock, hits something, turns up, starts rolling. Rolls past me, rolls another 100 feet down the hill, OB. Okay, so I was playing with, who was I playing with? Shoot, I'm trying to remember. Hold on. 1 second. Stall, Yuli, stall. Clayton. I was playing with Clayton. Super nice guy. He actually like ran down the hill because I was like, hey, did that go B? Because I can just rethrow. I don't have to go all the way down 200 feet to throw again. He's like, yeah, it did. So I proceed to grab, he gives me the get freaky that I threw. So I proceed to throw the same shot up there, basically. But this time I threw with a different disc because I was like, I don't want to risk it again. Bad karma, whatever. You know, superstitious. This one rolled down. Let me throw a different one up there. As I go to walk to my cart, which is 4 feet away from me, and mind you, I'm in the middle of the fairway. I haven't left the middle of the fairway. I'm in the middle of the fairway, 100 feet from the basket. All of a sudden, I feel like someone just took a 6-inch needle into my left calf. And I'm like, what the heck is that? And I look down, and there's a yellow jacket on my calf. So what is anyone's first instinct? Get this thing off my calf. So I take the get freaky and I just yeet this thing, right? Within 2 seconds, I have probably 7, 8, 9, 10 yellow jackets all over my legs. And they're just going ham. Now, for those that don't know anything about yellow jackets, when they sting you, they don't lose their stinger. So they can just keep going ham. They can just go to town, right? Now, I would have been fine, but for some, I don't know how it happened, but I think maybe I hit one and didn't kill it and it flung up. I got like 2 or 3 stings, and I can still actually feel some of the where they got me right here on the back. You can kind of see it's still a little red. They got me right in the right tricep. And for those that don't know, I'm highly, highly allergic to fire ants. So if I get stung by 10, 15 fire ants, I need to get an EpiPen. I need to get rushed to the I need something because everything just starts kind of closing up. And those that know, if you're highly allergic to like stings and stuff, you know what it is. I'm not highly allergic to yellow jackets, but I think they're all kind of in the same family where one yellow jacket sting to me is probably a little bit more severe than others. So right after I got, all of them attacked, I was starting to lose feeling kind of in my feet. Like it was starting to get very, very tingly. And also like my whole right arm was like kind of going numb. I proceed to finish out the round because it's like, I don't like DNFing middle of the rounds if I feel like I can finish. But on hole 17, I was going for the forehand skip shot off the water, and it came very apparent that I could not throw a forehand. The thing barely made it to the middle of the lake, right? And so I finished the round, and I kind of knew right then and there, like it was only going to get worse, which it did. The next morning was really bad. And so I proceeded to like basically just let them know like I'm not going to be able to finish, which sucks because I actually wasn't playing terrible. I had played myself into the cut line. I think I was like 64th, and the cut was right around, what was the cut? 84. So I played myself in. I was very excited to go back and play New London, one of my favorite courses, as you guys all know. Absolutely love New London. And I actually played New London very well the first round, other than I triple bogeyed hole 18. So I kind of wanted to go back out there and see what I could do without taking that blow up hole. So yeah, I was very upset about having to do it. I've only ever DNF'd another time on the pro tour, and that was right after I had Lyme disease and I was taking the line. What's the word? Do you know the medicine for Lyme disease? Doxycycline?
Just some sort of antibiotic, isn't it?
Doxycycline. Yeah, it is doxycycline, which is like, if you take that stuff, Yuli, and you go out in the sun, it's like really bad. Yeah. Like they say, do not go out in the sun. And so I was on doxycycline playing DDO in the middle of the summer, and I was like, I literally cannot finish. I was literally dying. So there you have it. Oh yeah, Edwin. Hey, shout out to Edwin. Brodie was 4 under going into hole 18 at New London day 1, tied for 8th. Yeah, so I was having myself a decent little tournament there. But that being said, the swelling, everything like that has kind of subsided. It still hurts a little bit if you like put pressure on where they stung me. But that being said, I think I should be fine moving forward. So hopefully that answers all the rumors and questions and whatever else was out there. So, all right, recap from Worlds. Where do you want to start real quick? Because you want to do a little quick recap here.
Just start. Let's start people who made the top. I think top 20 is good enough.
For MPO?
Yeah.
Okay, so Isaac won. Nicholas, incredible tournament. Really,
is
actually,
that 3 seconds in a row?
It might be, yeah. Battled back into contention after kind of like not really being on the map. After round 1 at New London, he was... Where was he? Did I miss him? Hold on. Wait, where the heck did he finish after round 1? Okay, 13th. So he was in 13th place after round 1. 6 shots off the lead. So he battled back. Second round, played really well. Got into the top 10. Yuli might be Gonzo. It might be solo dolo Brodie here moving forward. We'll see. But yeah, Nicholas, incredible performance. I would have loved to have seen the outcome of that tournament had it been... Oh, no, he's back. Everyone thought the baby was coming. Yeah, I would have loved to see how that tournament would have ended because I agree. I think it would have been really exciting if Nicholas would have been able to get a stroke on Isaac on hole 14 versus losing 2 strokes or losing a stroke. But, it is what it is. But good performance by him. But performance of the week outside of Isaac has to be Eagle McMahon. Did not see this coming.
Yeah, kind of out of nowhere. And I was watching the live. I think it's time to put the tour on high alert because he didn't look sharp.
His shot on hole 8, I believe it is. Yes, hole 8. That was the farthest I've ever seen anyone throw on that hole. Like I was landing 60 feet short of the tree that was in the fairway.
Yeah.
He landed past the tree. And where I'm landing to where he's landing, it's like 30 feet uphill. Insane. But yeah, like you said, like he didn't looking super impressive, but he was scoring incredibly well.
Yeah, he was playing super aggressive, but he has the yank still a little bit. And if he can figure that out, dude, we got Eagle McMahon back.
He yanked. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Which is a scary thing for the field.
He yanked one on hole 12 at New London. And then hole 7, the one that you're throwing out the gap over the water. I mean, that's not a gap shot, Yuli.
No, I know. I saw that.
The trees are 20 feet apart, 10 feet off the tee box. Like no one's thinking in their head, like, I hope I hit the gap. And he just shanks it in there. So I agree with you. Like if he's playing this well with those big misses, we shall see. He also apparently was 55 at 57 inside the circle. Wow.
That'll gain you some strokes.
Can I read you real quick what he posted on Instagram?
Yeah.
Because I thought this was very interesting. So this is what he posted. This year hasn't started great, and I faced more inner demons than ever before. Not many players talk about it, but being a pseudo-celebrity in the sport comes with its challenges. People's words get in your head, and they do affect you. Over the past few years, I've been asked repeatedly, how's the shoulder? How's the elbow? It was never the elbow, by the way. Will your forehand ever be the same? Will you ever be the same? How do you feel about the switch from Discmania? While these aren't bad questions, they echo in my head and make me question myself. I like to think I have a strong inner compass, but if you keep getting derailed here and there, you can end up way off course, even when you think you're on the right path. That's a glimpse into the personal challenges I've been facing lately. This year, I've often wondered if I'm good enough. if I'm an imposter. If you're reading this, you might expect a happy ending, like, oh, he got on the podium. Yay, he's happy. Well, that's part of it. That's not the point. I've been a mental mess on the course this year, but at this event, I threw every shot with intention, focus, and appreciation. That's what I'm proud of. I set out this week with the mission to stay present and play my game. I wasn't trying to become the world champion. I was playing to make myself proud without worrying about anything else. I didn't even check the scores the entire event. There's still plenty of work to do, but I'm proud of how I turned my attitude around and got back to following my own process. The key takeaway is that there's inherent goodness and beauty in everything if you choose to see it. You create your own reality. I'm incredibly grateful for where I am now. My body feels great. I'm loving my partnership with MVP, and I'm blessed to have an amazing support system, my girlfriend, family, friends, and fans. So this was something that was kind of discussed. I'm like, is Eagle like super in his head? Is like stuff going on? Because it's not like his talent. And the way he was saying about what he was saying, like his arm was feeling, his shoulder was feeling fine, all that stuff, you know, you would think like something's going on. And I think he does a great job of like expressing what's happening. And I think this is something that a lot of people probably struggle with, and a lot of people have to go, is like your purpose. Like, what is your purpose? And if you're looking to others, and this is what it sounds like he was doing, he's looking to others of what they have to say about him. And basically what they think of him kind of, it sounded like, was kind of making him change his feelings towards himself. And to me, it's like, as soon as you say to yourself, like, I don't care what any of these people think of me, I don't care about how my performance is, like, as soon as you like remove yourself from that, then it really frees you and it allows you just to go out there and have a good time and play versus having all that stuff in your head.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite quotes is, it doesn't matter what other people think of you. What matters is what you think about yourself. Yeah. And if you can focus on that and just eliminate the noise, you know, it becomes a nice quiet place up there and a happy place. But he's right. I mean, the struggles of being popular and people always wanting to have an opinion about you can be a tough burden to hold, especially if it takes a lot longer and you're a superstar like he is, and you're not performing to what people want you to do. You know what I mean? And we're not even at that level yet of craziness of like, imagine if there's like fantasy teams and you're losing people thousands of dollars and all of that stuff. The hate's going to come in and it's going to be ridiculous. And someday we'll probably be there. So just the small, but for the sport size, you know, he's top 10 most popular players that we've seen. Oh yeah. And so it's gotta be tough for sure. Absolutely. And you and I deal with it as well all the time.
Well, that's where it's like you have to be super grateful for the people that support you, right? Because in the industry that we're in, like, you have to have people support you to make money.
Yeah.
If you don't have people support you to make money, you can't do what we do. It's not like we're at a normal 9-to-5 desk job where it's like, hey, you have these tasks, get these tasks done and you're fine. Like, no, we have to be entertaining. We have to bring something to the table. Yeah. But at the same token, you have to realize that there are going to be people out there that have opinions that aren't the nicest and don't feel good. And you have to take the gratefulness of the people supporting you and remove the negative criticism, which is hard to do. Because when you play well and you see all the comments saying how good you are and how awesome you are, you suck it in. You love it. You love it. You want more of it. But then the negative stuff comes and it's really hard to flip the switch of like, oh, now I need to not care about what people are saying about me.
And on top of that, injuries are terrible because of this reason. Not only do you have to deal with the injury itself, you have to deal with your own doubts, and people will flip on you like this. Oh yeah. They're like, oh my gosh, he's never going to lose again. And then all of a sudden you get hurt and this guy's trash. Like, he's the worst player ever. I'm not going to follow him, like blah, 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 all the way down. And that'll play tricks on you too. Cause you're like, wait, you were just posting last week how great I was. And then this week you're saying I'm never going to win again. And And that's just the nature of sports. That's just the way that it is. And dealing with an injury, especially your first major injury in a sport, is so tough because your body changes. Everything changes. Your mental, everything to get out of that. It takes a lot of work. I was talking with my wife about this the other night. She's like, "You seem pretty happy. You told me that when you hurt your ACL, you were like miserable." And she's like, "But now your shoulder's hurt and you don't seem like that disappointed." And I'm like, "Well, that's because I went through that already. I don't want to do that again." So it's I learned from that injury. I don't want to come out of this injury just completely devastated and having to pull myself out of a rut. I'd rather just be happy the whole time and just knowing that I'm going to get through it. And that's something that you have to go, unfortunately, you have to go through something like this, like for him. And then God forbid something else happens, but it'll be easier for those people to come out of it, And
I think too, with just where we are in society now, it is so easy to turn on a podcast and listen to them talk about you. Go on a Reddit thread and read stuff written about you. Go on articles, go on Facebook groups. There's so much now that is out there where I remember like when I first started playing Ultimate, like social media wasn't really a thing. And there was one guy that basically talked about college Ultimate and he had a blog post. And we all flocked to the blog post afterwards. And you were hoping that he would say like, "Oh, I watched Brodie have this sick catch in the finals." Like you were hoping for that.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's like an unnatural thing. I think that's all very natural. The problem is though, with social media, there's so much out there now. And you see it from everyone. Like everyone's making like everyone's trying to be a social media influencer. Everyone wants people to like their posts and comment and all that. It's like it's something that's like it's actually like people get addicted to it, right? I mean, there's a reason why some people like can scroll TikTok for 2-3 hours. So it's something that I think we all eventually go through, and then you eventually just realize like, I have to appreciate the people that support me, but at the same time, I have to remove all this and realize like I still have to go out there and do my thing, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
And it's tough to do it. It's tough to do it, man. So sounds like maybe he's making the right steps though. So
absolutely great performance. Great performance. Maybe
we see a little bit of a different Eagle McMahon. All right, we got to talk about Luke Taylor.
Rising superstar?
Yeah, this might be the real deal. This isn't just someone that just popped on the scene and had like one great performance and we're all like, who the heck is this guy? No, this guy's had some great performances this year. He's still obviously up and down. He took 84th at Texas State's. Like that's not good, right? But there are some performances in here. 10th at Portland Open, 9th at Beaver State, 5th at Preserve, 24th at Ledgestone, 18th at Idlewild. Like,
and he's getting in the mix a lot.
He throws far.
Really far.
How?
From what I've heard, I've played with him one time.
Spin rate?
From what I've heard is he's just so good off the tee. On the practice field in Portland, there was multiple guys when we were watching him throw, and we're above, like in the top row or whatever.
Sure.
And he's down there throwing, and they both said like, "I'm pretty sure he's the best off the tee." And I was like, "Really?" And I played with him that tournament, and sure enough, his putting wasn't that great. But
his putting wasn't good this tournament either.
But he shot like 8 under or something in the round that I played with him. Beat me by 1,000,000. Missed every putt.
Yeah, he had a couple bad misses. But
some highlight putts as well, though.
Oh, and I'm all for more people showing emotion. I'm all for it. I love it. I love seeing it. Crazy though, crazy. Very exciting to kind of see the future that he has. Calvin, I mean, was he lurking? Like, was there ever a moment that you thought he was going to win?
After the first couple holes with how good his putt was, I thought it was going to be close. I thought, okay, if he keeps doing what Calvin does the best, which is throw amazing shots over and over again, if he's making 45 and in, we've seen the results of that. He's a winner.
Mhm.
That's what happens. But he wasn't crisp off the tee this week. He was throwing a lot of shots out of bounds, some uncharacteristic mistakes here and there. And we didn't see him at his best. So that's all. It just comes down to that. He wasn't at his best. And
Yeah,
what else do you got to say?
I felt like he was just lurking. Like I never really felt. I felt like it was always Isaac's to lose. Like Isaac was just playing too well.
And here's the thing with a lurker like that, be aware. Because somebody like that, like Calvin, he's just gonna win a bunch every single year. He's gonna get 3, 4, 5 wins a year minimum.
He's always
because
in the mix.
He's always in the mix.
Yep.
And so the age-old question, is he ever gonna win a major and blah blah blah? Yes, he is. Because when you put yourself in the mix that many times, you're going to eventually break through and win.
The rolls are going to go your way eventually. Yep. Ricky Wysocki, good performance, top 10. Simon Lizotte, also great performance. Moved up 5 spots, actually shooting 10 under the final round. Gannon Burr, another one, like never really was like in contention to win, but a good solid performance there, finishing in 7th. Ezra Robinson actually shooting 11 under the final round, moving him up 8 spots into the top 10, tying also with Sullivan Tipton, who apparently is just addicted to throwing in shots at Worlds.
I know.
He loves doing it. I love seeing it. I mean, there's obviously a bunch of names we can go down. Other storylines here. Like I thought Paul was going to be a little bit more in the conversation.
His putter just failed him this week.
I mean, he lost by 15. So like wasn't really ever any close. Chris Dickerson's still kind of having a scary good season. Not a lot of people talking about his season he's having. Finished 11th. Really good from him. AB kind of disappointed in round 2, shooting 11 under at New London, going to Ivy. You think to yourself, okay, AB is going to have another good round. Just couldn't throw the disc in bounds.
Yep.
In that second round. I think, let's see here.
Raven Newsom with a great finish. Yeah,
Raven, great finish. AB ended up shooting even par with 7 OB shots, which I mean you can't throw the disc OB 7 times.
No.
But yeah, some pretty good stuff. Let's see here. Any other names that jump out to us?
Gannon.
Yeah, we mentioned Gannon for a little bit. I guess Nico has like the longest active streak of cashing at Worlds. I think I saw him post something about that.
17 years straight.
It's crazy. It's kind of wild. And yeah, we can talk about the cut line. Oh my God, I did not see this. Did you see this from Big Germ?
Yeah.
He like limped across the finish line, barely made the cut.
Barely made the cash.
Or barely made the cash, I mean.
Yeah, 2 people still missing cash there. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Having to play the last round again, no money.
Yeah, not only 4 rounds, you have to play 5 rounds, and you don't get money.
And you don't get any money. That's so stupid.
That is very dumb. Very, very dumb. But yeah, cool little tournament there. Let's quickly talk about FPO. Was this course too hard?
I don't think it's about course being hard. I think the biggest thing that I saw was inconsistent shots across the board from everybody. I saw bad putting the whole time. And
what happened? What happened that final round?
Listen, I've said this take before and people hate it, but it comes down to we expect greatness all the time from the FPO division because we've had signs of it from Kristen. We have signs of it from Holland. We have signs of it from Evelina of throwing these miraculous shots, shooting 8 to 10 under. But what we have to understand is it's 990 rated players playing for $20,000. The nerves of that are enough to make you throw bad shots. And that's what I saw. I saw the nerves and the stakes were really high. And that's the way that a lot of those tournaments are won. It's who makes the least amount of mistakes. And that's what I saw this week. Who made the least amount of mistakes down the stretch? And driving was a premium on that course. Absolute premium. And Evelina proved it through the most good shots, tee to green. I saw something ridiculous, like 41 strokes gained, tee to green or something.
I mean, I hate that stat, though. You know I hate the stat because there are people in the field that are shooting 80 over par.
She was fourth to last place in putting percentage. And she won the tournament.
To me, that's crazy.
So there's your statistic. It doesn't. She's throwing the disc so much better than everybody that she's winning the tournament. She did not make a single putt outside a circle.
But when she was 0 for, I think she was 0 for 26 outside the circle, and then I believe for the tournament inside a circle, she was 10 of 17 final round. Round 4, she was 6 of 11 inside the circle. Round 3, this was the crazy round. Round 3, ready for this, Yuli? Mm-hmm. She was 18 for 18. Circle 2 in regulation. She had a birdie putt on every single hole at New London. I mean, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy that you never once had one like bad shot entire round.
I've been hearing crazy. A lot of negative stuff about Evelina's putting and whatever. But one
it's hard not to say that.
Of course,
it's hard not to say that.
On a positive note, I can't imagine the self-dialogue that had to have gone through her head the final round and watching her putt and then somehow staying the course and winning the tournament. I got to take my hat off because a lot of people, and maybe it's because she's used to it and she misses the putts and this is just how she plays, but she did still make a couple for her longer putts down the stretch.
Did she? I think she made one.
Hey, that's better than none. It's better than 3 putting. You get what I'm saying? And another thing that I've seen with her in the last few tournaments is this.
It's actually hole 1. She made a 29-footer.
No, listen to this. She doesn't lay up. You know what I mean? Like circle's edge, she goes for it almost every time. Every single time.
Yeah, it may not look like she's trying to make it, but she is trying to make it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people might get to that spot having that stroke and go, nope, I'm going to lay this under the basket. I'm going to take the par. I don't want a 3-putt. She's not giving up. And that kind of fortitude is why she's the world champ, because she never gave up. And that's a tough thing to do.
What do we say, though, if next season she comes back and she's still as bad as putting as she is, though, now?
There's nothing. Who cares? Who cares if she wins the world title again? Who really cares?
I mean,
I'm serious.
Yuli, it's not a good look. Come on, you got to be honest. It's not a good look.
Guess what?
It's not a good look.
Nobody's gonna look at her putt or whatever. They're gonna look at titles, dude. In 5 years. But right now, in the moment, it sucks. I mean, it sucks to watch people miss like that. Absolutely. But some people just aren't good at some stuff. Now,
but she doesn't have to be great. She doesn't have to be a great putter. I'm not asking her to turn into Owen Scoggins over the next season. I'm just saying, can she? Here's the thing, Yuli.
Can you make your 15-footers?
The face that she made when she laid up on 18 and it hit that koozie and started rolling. That face says it all of where that disc would have rolled away to 50 feet. She now has to get up and down to win a world championship. And it wasn't like a face of like, oh, that would have been kind of fun. It was a face of terror of like, if this disc rolls to 50 feet, 60 feet, I don't know if I'm going to get up and down. That's what I'm saying is that's all I'm asking is like, because to me, it's like, That is the only thing she needs to figure out is how do you make 70% of putts inside of 20 feet?
It's nerves. It's nerves. A lot of it's nerves. You can't.
But it's nerves because you're not good at it, though. Is what I'm saying. We all have nerves. We all have to handle nerves.
I think a big part of this too is I'm just saying generalizing putting in general. You cannot compare their skill level to the top in the world, right? I think the top.
What do you mean? She just won a world championship. What are you talking?
I'm saying EDWIN stats. Pull up the number one percentage in the FPO field. Who is it?
I think it's Silva. It's Silva.
Silva at what is it? 86%.
I was gonna say 84, but
84%. Okay, 84%.
Okay.
We'll wait for the stat to come up. But my point is this: if it's Silva 84%, that means that Own is 83%,
81, something right there. Yeah.
Okay, that's our peak. That's the best. That's the best. Okay, that would be like somebody being like, "Oh yeah, you have to putt like Gannon Burr, somebody else in our division."
Silva's at 83.
83%. Okay, that's the peak. What we're used to seeing is Gannon make everything. Okay, let's get rid of what we know. Okay, we don't know anything about putting, period.
Can I ask this question? How much worse should FPO be from MPO putting inside the circle?
How much worse?
Correct. Like when we're talking about the fastest men in the world versus the fastest women in the world, we all know that men are faster than women. So
I'm talking about a division. We're forgetting all information.
To me, though, the best putters in FPO inside the circle should be equal to men. I don't think putting should be different.
But that's not fact as we know it right now.
But why not?
And so what I'm saying is, when we look at that, and then we look at what happened the final round with not just Evelina, a lot of people missed a lot of easy putts down the stretch. A lot of them.
It was tough to watch the final round.
That's not unusual. They're 83%, the top who weren't on the lead card. Okay. 82%. So what, 75%? That's still, imagine in our division, somebody on the lead card has 75%. Final round. Be one of the worst putting performances we've ever seen. Am I right?
I mean, it depends because 75% can mean they could just miss one putt if they're 3 for 4. That's why I don't love percentages. I love misses. I love misses.
No, you're deflecting the point.
I'm not deflecting it. If Calvin goes 3 of 4 inside the circle, that
never happens. Like, look, how many putts did Evelina miss? How many putts did Calvin miss? How many putts did they both have? There's your comparison.
Evelina missed 7 putts inside the circle.
Okay, now look at Calvin's last round. How many putts did he have?
Calvin went 8 for 8.
8 for 8. Okay, so now what does he have to miss to be 75%?
Like 3 and a bit.
3 and a bit. Imagine that. That'd be crazy. You're not going to see that.
No, we have seen it from Calvin, though. We have seen people miss putts like that.
I'm talking about a final round. This is a final round.
Yeah.
Nerves are higher. You're going to miss more.
I agree.
This is just the name of the game. So what I'm saying is,
you're more likely to miss. I agree.
You're more likely to miss. So we're looking at the percentage. That's the top 82% or 83%. You bring that down. Now you're looking at 75%. And then across the board, the putting's bad.
What is your point, though? Because like Evelina's like, her putting is like 50%, which is, and again, it's not
for it not to look bad, because I'm saying in a hole, it's not like she's getting out putted crazy by everybody.
She is,
by 3 people.
No, she was she was the bottom 5. She only putted better than 4 people in the entire field, and there was people that were shooting, this is including people that were shooting 80 over par, 73 over par, 68 over par, 62. You have to go all the way to...
I know, I'm asking you a question. How much better does she have to be for you to like it? For you to be okay with her being the world champ?
All I'm saying is, when you're world champion and you're stepping up and every single time you have a 10-footer and you're nervous, I don't think that's a good look for FPO. That's what I'm trying to say.
Whole entire lead card, final round. Okay. I'm going to give you a situation. We had Evelina. We had Cat Merch. We had who else was on the lead card? Drawing a blank here.
Cat Merch, Evelina, Holland Hanley, and I think it was Natalie Ryan. Yeah, Natalie Ryan.
And Natalie Ryan. They all have a 25 to 30 footer for the win. Are they making it? Are you 100% sure that they're all going to make it?
An FPO right now?
Yeah, for the win.
I have no idea. The only person that I would say is making that putt is Kristen.
Okay.
And Owen and Silva.
So that's my point. That's my point. How much better does she have to be? You want her to make that every time? It's not going to happen.
No. I don't know if you understand my point. My point is what I'm saying is I think the bar for FPO right now just needs to be raised a little bit. That's my point. Is like this tournament was a perfect example of when Kristen's not playing well, which let's be honest, Kristen did not play well and she got third.
Very true. Yes.
Like I will count a spade a spade. If I watch a final league card of MPO and everyone plays terrible, I'm going to tell you, like, that wasn't really fun to watch. Like, everyone played bad.
I'm not saying it was fun to watch. But
like, everyone played, no one on FPO played well that final round.
But my point is this. I don't care how she putts if she wins. I really don't. And my point is this.
You should, though, Yuli.
Why
you
should I? No.
You should.
No. Because my point is this.
She's a world champion and she can't make a 15-footer, Yuli. Like, you should. Like,
you don't have to.
But she should have to. That's my point. She should have to. Like, there should be there's no chance that if I'm an FPO player and I see
do we
something,
want wins or them to just look cool?
I want good disc golf in the world championship. What are we talking about? I want to see good. I want to see like Isaac Robinson.
That is good. That is the best. That's the best we got. That's what I'm saying. Our bar is what it is.
It was this. Unfortunately, what we got at Worlds, because again, Evelina.
What do you suggest?
Evelina is one of the best. Is one of the best off the tee.
She's the best. You don't have to say one of the best. She's the best.
We're not disagreeing there, and that hasn't changed all year. And the majority of the time, that's not good enough to win a tournament.
It is majors because everybody gets nervous, and that's my point, and everybody misses putts. And she's won 2 times, and she should have won 3. She had a big lead at the European Open. She should have won all 3 majors. I'm saying it's good enough, and nobody's going to care in the long run.
I'm just saying, if you watch this final round for FPO,
it's not a fun piece to watch.
Are you now thinking to yourself? I can't wait to watch the next FPO event.
I think so.
That's all I'm saying.
Think so. I think it's exciting. I think it's just as exciting as the men's because I don't know what's going to happen. I have no clue what's going to happen. They're missing 12 footers. They're throwing out of bounds on every hole.
But
they played hot potato with the World Championships through the whole entire card. Holland had the lead. Cat Merch had the lead. Evelina had the lead. They're just doing it a different way. We can't expect them to be this. When it's obvious that it is this.
It is exciting when that's like not the norm and it's out of the usual. It's exciting.
That is the norm.
It's exciting when you're also watching like high school and you know like these kids are trying to figure out and work the way up. All I'm saying right now is FPO, and it's going to catch up. We're going to see it. Look at Holland Hanley. Holland Hanley was not competing for a world title. All Holland needs to figure out is she needs to fix her forehand a little bit because twice in that round, her forehand let her down on pretty easy upshots. On hole 5, easy upshot, shanked it into the tree, OB, cost her 2 strokes. And then on hole, I believe 10, also Holland had an easy upshot. Hole 8. Holland had an easy upshot, shanked it into the tree, cost her a stroke. Right? Like Holland just needs to figure out that. And because obviously at a certain point in time, Holland realized wasn't going to win. And then we saw her finish bogey, bogey, triple, double, bogey, bogey. Like that's not actually how Holland is, right? What I'm trying to say is for FPO to continue to grow, FPO players cannot look at what Evelina did or anyone and say that is good enough. And that's what you're saying. It is good enough because she won. I agree. I'm not taking anything away that she won.
All I'm saying.
10 years from now, we're going to look back. She is going to be a world champion. She's going to be a world champion. What I'm saying, though, is I got to believe that there are players,
eventually,
that Missy Gannon, that Owen Scoggins, that Kristen Tatar, Paige Pierce, that they're thinking to themselves, holy cow, how did I not win this? And that hopefully they are going to figure out a way. I don't know if
that's what they think, because I really do think.
I hope so.
I really do. No, I really think they watch her throw the disc and she never misses.
She can't putt, though, Yuli. She can't putt. She's got to throw the disc under the basket. If you're playing someone like that in a C tier, Yuli, and you're losing to them, you're not going to finish the round and be like, they threw the disc really well off the tee. You're going to be like, bro, this person couldn't putt inside of 10 feet. That's what you're going to say.
I've lost tournaments to really good players who can't putt as well as I can over and over and over again. So I can't agree with you. I'm sorry.
We all know there's a vast difference in what we're saying right now. There's a vast difference.
There is. I enjoyed the coverage. I loved it. There's
a vast difference between someone that's
put a cap on it.
Not putting as good as you and someone that literally cannot make a putt inside a circle. That's all I'm saying is, like, I know there are women out. I bet there are women watching too that aren't even on tour that cannot wait for their chance to get out there. And that's what's going to progress the sport.
Let me take you back
to what's going to progress the sport.
2000, what was it? 2016? Was that the last time Shoestrick won?
I don't know.
The guy couldn't make a 10-footer, dude.
Ricky. Yeah, and guess where we've come now? He wouldn't win now, Yuli.
What are you talking?
Shoestrick would not win now. If he couldn't make a 10-footer.
Do you know who he was going against? Paul McBeth, who didn't miss.
I bet you $1 billion if Will Shoestrick could not make a 10-footer, he would not win a world championship now. I bet you $1 billion.
He was playing against Paul McBeth, who made everything.
I bet you $1 billion he wouldn't do it.
You just told me that people would be like, no, you can't beat him. Will Shoestrick threw the disc so dang good.
Doesn't
matter how many putts you made.
It doesn't matter how good you throw the disc. You still have to make putts.
No, you don't.
You still have to make putts. Yes.
Shoestrick missed like 3 putts in a row to win the tournament on 18. Do you remember that?
Back then, you didn't have to do it.
Yes, you did.
Now you do. If you look at it.
No.
Yes. Let's look real quick. Let's say Isaac never made a circle 2 putt. Okay? Isaac never made a circle 2 putt. He would have finished, if Isaac did not make a circle 2 putt, he would have finished in 7th place.
Okay, so now put everybody else didn't make a circle 2 putt as well. Like, what are you talking?
What do you mean? I'm literally just showing.
As a division, I'm saying none of them can putt very good.
Yeah, and guess what? People can putt now. The MPO is not what it was when Will Shoestrick won. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to be able to putt now to win tournaments in MPO.
I'm saying no. That was a one-off. People don't. I'm saying it's possible. Okay, and Will Shoestrick did it. You can throw the disc so good that you win. Absolutely.
Name one MPO player this year that has won a tournament and putted terribly.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Because it can't happen. You have to at least putt decent. You don't have to be the best putter in the world, but you have to be decent.
I don't know. I'm thinking like maybe one of the tournaments AB won. Look at his stats.
All right, let's go to AB. Anthony Barella. Let's go chess.com. Here we go. Chess.com. He won that. And I know Edwin Stats is going nuts with this too right now.
Thank goodness.
He went 13 of 15, 87% final round, chess.com. Second round, 6 of 8. And first round, 8 of 10. So he putted above 80%.
So he putted awful.
Above 80% is not
No, that's
awful,
bad.
Yuli.
No, that is bad, Brodie.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Oh my gosh.
I bet you that's
the
best putter? What's the best putter in MPO? What is the best putter in
when
MPO?
They win?
Circle one.
When they win?
No.
No, that's what we're comparing.
No, we're comparing good putting versus bad putting. That's all we're comparing. We're comparing good putting versus bad putting.
You said you can't win if you putt bad. That's what you said.
Yes, in bad putting is not 80+% inside a circle. That's not bad putting. Putting 84% inside the circle is not bad putting.
Find me somebody who putted worse than that.
What do you mean? That's my whole point. You have to putt decent to win. That's literally my whole point. You can't putt bad. 84% inside a circle is decent, I would say. It's not bad.
That's bad, dude.
So compared to what? Compared to the best putters in the world?
I mean, yeah.
Where's EDWIN's stats? It's not bad.
Yeah, no, it is.
84% inside a circle.
Where does 84% put you on the tour right now, EDWIN?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, ADHD. He says, then what is 50%? Because that's what Evelina putts.
Well, but that's what I'm saying.
Evelina putts 50. So what is that?
But the number one putter in their division is 80,
I don't think they're that far back from MPO.
Is 83.
What do you think? Who do you think the number one putter is putting 96%?
93%.
One person maybe is putting that. I don't even know if it's that.
People at 90% for sure.
I don't know about that. I would say Marweed is up there. The worst C1X putt to win this year was Nicholas at Turku with 79%.
Is that good? It's 79. It's 79% good now.
It's not bad though. That's my point.
Oh my
It's not bad.
Hey,
79% is not bad compared to Evelina at 50%.
Yes, but that's my point. Is you're comparing it to MPO. You cannot do that. You got to compare it to FPO.
What do you mean?
I'm saying 50% is horrible. Yes.
Okay, what is horrible in MPO?
79% is horrible.
Okay, so what's good in MPO? If 79% is horrible, what's good?
Probably and this is an average, okay? So you have to average.
We're saying 79% is a season. 79% is bad, 93% is good. Or sorry, it's very good. That's the best of the best. So where's good? If
that's an average, Brodie.
That's fine. We're going average. 79% is bad, 93% is the best. So what is good putting?
I would say above 85%.
Okay. So the bar for MPO is 79% to 93. The bar for FPO is 83 to 40. Why is their bar so massive? Why isn't their bar 80 to 70 or 80 to 65?
Because they're not as good.
But why aren't they as good?
I don't know.
There's no reason guys should be better than girls at putting.
I agree. I don't know why. I wish I knew.
Number 50 on tour is 83%.
And that's good. You think top 50 is 83. So that means 70. What is 79?
I would say if you're 50th on tour, you're decent. That's all I said.
So no.
You're not bad at putting. You're not bad at putting.
You said you have to be able to putt to win. We're getting back to the point.
Correct.
79% in the circle is below 50. Now we're getting into the bottom half. By 4%, by not that much. That's a lot.
That's a lot. It's not if it's only one putt here and there. Again, that's my whole point. That's why you can't look at percentages though, Yuli, because if someone putted 75%, some person could miss 10 putts and putt 75%, and some person could miss 3 putts and miss 75%.
Putt. He's better than that at putting, and he putted 79% and won the tournament. I'm sorry, but guess what? That's not good, and he won the tournament, so it's doable.
Is that not good for Nicholas though? That might not be good for Nicholas. But that's still decent.
It's not good for people who win tournaments, Brodie.
Well, that's also the worst one, Yuli. That's literally the worst one.
I know, it's possible. It
was also at it was also at the weakest field in the entire division.
Sure.
Do you think he would have won? Do you think he would have won?
Do I think anybody could win in our division at 50%? No. But do I think people could win at 79%? Yeah. I do.
I think my main thing here right now is there is not anything that strikes me when it comes to distance. Sure. Do guys throw farther than women? Yes. Will they always throw farther than women? Yes. Will guys putt better than women from 60 feet? Yes. But 15 feet?
Got to make those.
And let me just, I got
agree.
the room now. I'm going to take the headphones off. Let me just do a quick example real fast. This is the biggest problem I see with men, amateurs, women, whatever, when they're putting from 10 feet. I'm going to show the difference between how I putt from 10 feet and how I see other people putt from 10 feet.
Okay.
Hopefully you can still hear me because I won't be able to hear you. All right.
I like this.
Literally, if I'm putting from 10 feet, I don't putt the same way because I'm 10 feet away. I literally do this. I bring the disc like this far down, and I just go forward. It's 10 feet away. And it's in the chains. This is what I'll do. If my disc is on the ground, I literally go like this. I'll mark it. Come up, tap it in. Now, what I see from people that struggle from this distance is they literally do a full motion from 10 feet away.
I think you just fix everybody's putt.
I think, honestly, that's a big issue. I think that's a big issue. You watch people do a full putting motion from 10 feet away. And yeah, Yuli, if you were 10 feet away from me and I was trying to, and you held your hand out like this and said, hey, throw me the ball, and I did a full motion to try to throw and hit your hand, I'm probably knocking you out. I'm probably hitting you in the face more than often. Versus if I just take the ball and I get like this, I'm probably hitting it in your hand every time. So all I'm saying is there is no reason from 10 feet or 15 feet that the NPO field should be putting considerably better than FPO. That's
agree.
all I'm saying.
I 100% agree. It's so funny because I think I argued both sides in my argument.
Yeah, I don't know where you were all over the place.
But
People
I
loved
like
it. People loved it.
I like to get it all out there and figure it out.
I just think we all want to see, like, when Kristen.
I'm going to defend a world champion because guess what?
Go ahead.
We got a world title behind us.
Go
right
freaking ahead.
What do you got?
All I'm saying is, like, when
you got Silva and everybody else is putting good, not winning the tournament.
When you watch, like, Kristen Tatar play good disc golf, like, that is fun to watch. When you watch Holland Hanley play round one, like, that was fun to watch. She was playing great round one.
Did you not have a blast watching that final round? Did you watch it live? Please tell me you watched it.
Yes,
you cannot tell me you were not at the edge of your seat and you just had no clue. Did you think Evelina had lost at one point?
I thought when she hit the koozie, I thought it was going to roll away and she was going to go into a playoff and lose.
And did you think that Merch had won at one point? Because I did.
I thought Merch was going to win, and then she just decided to stop playing disc golf towards the last end of it, which was very weird.
I don't think she decided to stop playing disc golf. I think a world title is a lot of pressure. And I don't know. I had a blast watching it.
Again, Yuli, you're saying this like this is the world.
It's unselfish region.
This is the world championship. How I view it and how I think we all should view it is like Evelina is Patrick Mahomes. Evelina is Tiger Woods. Evelina is Steph Curry, right? And it's like, what did Steph Curry do at the gold medal game? He made 4 ridiculous 3-pointers. That's all I'm trying to say is, like, Serena. Okay, I mentioned all dudes. Serena Williams, Sydney McLaughlin, Katie Ledecky. Okay, there you go. For all you people in the chat, you want to keep going? I'll keep going. The point is like, I'm literally comparing Evelina to the best, like you would compare other sports, and you don't see Steph Curry airballing. Like, it's not like missing. You don't see Simone Biles slamming into the vault. in the Olympics. Like,
it's like
people make mistakes. That is completely fine. But there's a certain level, Yuli, of where it's like, what is going on? That's my whole point. And if it was 30-mile-per-hour winds, I think that would have been a lot better. Because then we could be like, it's super, super windy. Oh my gosh.
It was tough. It was tough, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, like I said, for selfish reasons.
Moonlight,
because I didn't.
Moonlight, please show me shots of Steph Curry airballing when it's clutch, please. Please. I would love to see, because apparently he didn't do it the 4 final 3-pointers he did when they beat France in the gold medal. I didn't see it. I didn't see Katie Ledecky all of a sudden stop sucking water in and start drowning when she was winning all her gold medals. I didn't see Sydney McLaughlin run into a hurdle. That's all I'm trying to say. Is like I think we all like to see good stuff. That's all. I think we all like to see good stuff.
And that is good. That is good for
off the tee. Yes, she is the best of the best. It's really
that's
off the
not
tee.
Fun to watch. So let's just focus on that. I think that's the big story.
What am I supposed to do? Turn off the TV when she goes up the putt? What are you talking about?
I mean, it's a great story.
It is. I mean, it has us talking about it. It is an incredible story. I agree. I would just love to see her start putting better, because I think
she puts a lot, actually, and I know she does. They putt all off season. That's all they do is putt.
But I think she drives the whole field if she starts putting better. That's all I'm saying. I think she drives the whole field if she's putting better.
Agreed.
That's that's what needs to happen. Also, all these people talking about Brodie versus Evelina, please stop. Please stop. Please stop. All right. Because guess what? After Isaac's performance here, do you think all of a sudden everyone in MPO is just thinking to themselves like, oh, I don't need to practice. Oh, I don't need to get better. Like I'll win the next one. Or they're like, holy crap, I have Isaac in the field. That's just how sports go. You have to have someone push the field. I'm not the Alex Jones of disc golf. I'm saying the same thing we're all thinking.
Alex would say.
There's literally nothing I've said that's not based in facts. Show me one thing that's not based in facts. And if you can't separate the fact that what I think, am I congratulatory towards Evelina? Like, this has nothing to do with Evelina as the person. Literally has nothing to do with it. All I'm saying is it's tough when you have a world champion that can't make a putt. That's all I'm trying to say. So if there's anything out there that you guys are getting all sad about, I would say the same thing if it was MPO. It has nothing to do with it being a female or a male. If Isaac would have won and would have missed 15 putts inside the circle, I would have been like
Nicholas did in Turku.
He did not miss. How many putts did he miss? Edwin, how many putts did he miss? How many putts? Do you know how many putts he would have to miss to putt 79%?
Missed 8 putts in the circle in a tournament, and you're like, oh, that's pretty good.
Do you know how many putts? Do you know how many putts he would have to miss to putt 79% if he made a bunch of putts? He would have to miss so many putts.
I watched the Turku Open. I know he missed a lot of putts. It was crazy.
Also, are these putts with like normal conditions? No straddling, no trees, no limbs, because that matters.
He missed a lot of putts.
I love Andrew Marweed, but for a moment in time, there was a time where like Marweed never played like any open courses because obviously his skill set, he likes the woods. And so like when he was leading all the putting stats, like the running joke was like, well, he never has to putt in the wind. So like his putting stats are obviously
he makes putts in the wind.
No, I know he's a good putter, but that was like the running joke. We all go to DDO and have to putt in 25-mile-per-hour winds, and our putting stat all gets crushed, you know? Yeah, thank you. Nick says, Brodie calls it like he sees it as surprising a champion won putting badly. Nicholas was 30 of 38, so he missed 8 putts out of 38.
It's a lot. It's a lot of missed putts, Brodie. Ask him. Let's get Nicholas on right now.
No, he would tell you he putted poorly.
Yeah, okay, thanks. That's all I'm saying. It was awful. He would say it was awful putting. It was terrible.
Yeah, here's the problem. How many people in FPO would say 30 out of 38 for a full tournament was bad? That's the point. That's the point, Yuli. How many people would say that's bad?
Well, Again, you gotta take it to the
Oh,
cap.
here we go.
What is their top
there
putter?
shouldn't be a cap.
There has to be, because there is.
There shouldn't
Who's the
be.
best? That's your cap.
There shouldn't be a cap.
But there is. I don't care if there shouldn't. You're speaking in hypotheticals. I'm telling you what it is. There's a cap. It's this. This is how good you have to be in their division. Okay. That's the cap. That's who the best is. That's their Steph Curry.
You're literally right now.
83%.
You're literally right now.
It's 83%.
You're like trying to tell me right now that a guy has a higher chance of making a layup than a female. That's literally what you're trying to say. Because he's a guy, he has a higher chance of making a layup.
I'm saying
a layup is such a simple task that a guy and a female should have the same percentage.
Don't try to put something in my mouth.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
This is what I'm saying.
That's exactly what you're saying.
No, what I'm saying is this is the cap. This is their division.
Why is there a cap? Why is there a cap?
Because there's a best putter in their field, and this is how good they are. That's the cap. Right now, that's the cap, Brodie. There's an actual person who is the best female putter in the world, and it is capped at 83%, and that is facts. That's the cap. Okay? Right. Until somebody pushes the cap higher. Now, if it was 93%, I would be on board. But it's not. It's the cap, and you know as well as anybody what happened once the first guy ever to break the 4-minute mile.
That's what I'm saying, Yuli.
And everybody did it.
That's my whole point.
But until somebody, but the cap's here. Nobody. Yeah, push it. You got to push it.
That's my whole point. You're saying there's nothing wrong with a world champion not being able to putt from 10 feet.
So you're saying this. You're saying back then nobody could do it. Nobody could break the mile. Oh, wait. That's still trash because it should be higher. It should be, even though there's some person out there who's the best at it, it should be higher.
No. What are you talking about? No. When someone, back when someone was running the fastest in the world, everyone was super impressed. Everyone was super impressed.
And it's a cap. You're not impressed by the cap.
Correct, because I don't see a difference between men and women inside the circle putting.
But there is a difference.
There shouldn't be.
I agree, but there is.
But there shouldn't be.
Now there is.
If you agree that there shouldn't be, then the cap should be the men, the highest of both fields. That's my point.
I agree with that. But then when we call this person trash, and then the cap is way lower, then it's not as trash as we think. And I think that we should just expect it to be bad sometimes across the board because that's just what we get. That's what we get as a product.
All right. That's not a good product. All right, I'll say that. It's not a good product. It's the same thing as anything, man. It's like, going and watching bad high school basketball, if your kid is not on the team, you don't do it. There's a reason why random people in the city don't show up to high school basketball if they have no affiliation with the school. That's all I'm saying. We want to see the best of the best. And she's the best off the tee.
And that is
she's so good off the tee.
She's the world champion. It's literally the best we got as of right now. Till next week.
Chris the Tar posted on Instagram saying, past 10 days were a little weird. I felt in total peace and ready to attack these courses, but at the same time made mistakes that were uncharacteristic to me, which didn't really allow me to be in the mix for the world title. Regardless of that, I feel oddly peaceful, slept well, and was excited to compete every morning. This time, I just wasn't able to put together any good rounds score-wise. I'm so grateful to everyone who came out to cheer me on, even in the early morning on Thursday.
Bad week. Had a bad week. Didn't play her best.
Yeah, and got third. That's my whole point.
We could go all night, man. I'm ready. Actually, I can't. I
don't think if Isaac has a bad week, he gets third. That's my whole point. Let's talk real quick. Coverage was kind of tough.
It was horrible. It was tough to watch, and I watched every moment of it.
New London, it was tough.
It's hard.
Also, I know JVD is having his Smash Pod podcast right now. If you defend, again, telling me that you let Brian Earhart call shots, that's what's happening in person. They don't let him call shots. They don't.
It's nice when he does. Like even when they go down to him and he's like, "And here's off the tee," and blah blah blah.
But they do
it's
it.
Nice.
They give him 2 seconds.
No, I know what I'm saying.
The guy's
is
literally
it's great.
in mid.
It's great.
The guy's in mid motion, being like, "All right, Brian Earhart, tell us what." It's like, let him just say everything, and then you guys fill in. I don't. Please just watch one golf tournament. Just watch one golf. I know Brian was winded. Frank, I got you.
Brian was for sure winded.
They needed to give him better time to actually, like, he's like walking up a hill, being like, Brian, what's going on down there? He's like, I just walked up a hill. But literally, like, they don't do it. They don't do it. Like, they go to him after the throw's already happened. They go to him while the throw's already in the air. Literally send it to him 15 seconds before the shot and let him build up the shot and then walk through it. I don't get it. All right. Enough of that. World's recap from EDWIN stats here. Only the 5th MPO player to win back-to-back world championships, Isaac Robinson. He led the tournament wire to wire. Only the 4th time ever in MPO. Last time was Wysocki in 2017. That's crazy, man. Wire to wire. Led in strokes gained tee to green. Ranked 14th in strokes gained putting. First of only 3 players to be in the top 15 in both. Led tournament in bogey rate, 7%. That was insane. He just didn't bogey out there at all. Nicholas and Taylor finished runner-up for the 4th time at a major, Yuli. 4th time. 2024 Worlds, 2024 Champions Cup, 2023 Champions Cup, 2022 USDGC. Ricky finished in the top 6 in all majors so far in 2024. Calvin made lead card in the final round for the last 4 Worlds. Wow, I didn't know that.
That's crazy.
But hasn't finished better than 4th. Wow. He's been on lead card the last 4 Worlds, but has never finished better than 4th. So he's always dropped the final round. Did not know that. Okay. I'm going to open up for questions. I know me and Yuli went for a rant there for a little bit. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. You know, it's fun to go back and forth every once in a while, throw those punches. Questions. We'll answer.
I haven't had a good debate in a while. That was fun.
We'll give you guys 5 or 10 minutes to throw in some. Well, we're not going to wait 5 minutes, but we'll answer questions for the next 5 minutes. Scott Stokely has an opinion on this. Thank you, James. What did you all think of the trophy? Not good.
It wasn't great. It was bad.
Not good. Not good.
Bad trophy.
How many players at Worlds got stung by bees? I don't think anyone got stung by bees. I think we were all getting stung by yellow jackets. I know Missy got stung. Clemens, I think, got stung.
So a bunch.
There was a handful of people. Why does the Pro Tour not say tickets are for sale on the site? No idea. Can Climo get back to commentating? I hope so. He's great in the booth. I forgot to say, I gotta talk about this. Sorry. You guys hold off on your questions. One last rant.
Actually, keep throwing the questions. We'll scroll through them.
Keep going. Yeah, Silas, figure out the good ones, and then you can tell us, because I got to go on a rant. Yuli, I believe the PDGA, and hey, if you work for the PDGA, I'm sorry, you're not going to like what I'm about to say, but it's nothing new here. I think the PDGA views the World Championship as a vacation. I think they think, hey, I'm getting everything paid for. I get to watch disc golf, and it's going to be a great time. This is why, Yuli. First off, Nate Heinold, I think, hates me now, just doesn't respond to my text messages when I tell him stuff. It is what it is. I mean, he's the TD of the tournament, so I assume like that was the best person to text when there is a 3-hole gap in front of the group that's in front of you. Never got back to me. I'm going to stay on the front lines of pace of play until I die. Why? I'm a man of the people. And what do people hate the most? Slow play. We don't like it. It's not good for coverage. It's not good for spectators in at the course. I don't want to see people in the crowd tell me that, wow, thank God, like we haven't seen anyone for 30 minutes. People don't like pace of play, slow pace of play, okay? And I'm gonna do a quick tutorial. I'm doing it. Okay. I gotta do it because I don't think anyone on the PDGA actually knows how to check pace of play. I don't think they know how to do it. So here's your quick tutorial. Anyone that works for the PDGA and is going to an event that is not going there for vacation, please pay attention because I'm going to show you. All right. So here we are. Where are we at, Silas? Where are we at? This is the camera. Here we go. All right. This is the leaderboard. Okay. The leaderboard is going to, I'm on your leaderboard too. This is PDGA Live. I'm on your leaderboard. This is the app that you guys created because we don't use UDisc anymore. Okay. Now, this is automatically in order from lowest under par to highest under par. Now, what you have to do, all you have to do, okay, is you see where it says that through button. So it says total, round, and then through. When a tournament's going on, all you have to do is click that one time. And now you see there's a little arrow. So what that has done, it has now changed to where before it's sorted by who was under par and who's leading the tournament, now it's sorting by what hole they're on. So now you're going to see everyone that's playing hole 18. They're all going to be there. 18, 18, 18, 18. Then whoever's on hole 17, it's going to say 17, 17, 17, 17. So all you have to do is you just scroll. And when you see that there's a group on 15, 15, 15, 15, and then you scroll and the next group is 12, 12, 12, 12, that's bad. No good. That means no one's on hole 13. No one's on hole 14. No one's on hole 15. That's bad. And it literally takes just a little scroll. That's all it takes. They did add favorites. Yep, shout out to that. It only took them a couple months. We do have favorites. So if I'm a marshal and I'm in a golf cart and I am in charge, right, of pace of play, what should I be doing? I should be on my phone, scrolling, looking, and being like, oh, wow, there's a 3-hole gap here. Let me drive over there and tell them that they need to hurry up. We were on hole 15. This was after, I was playing with Jakob. I was playing with other people that were asking me like, hey, did you text Nate? What did they say? We were on hole 15, Yuli. Nate never responded. This was something that was an issue from literally hole 3. We caught up to the group in front of us on hole 3. We had to wait for them on the tee pad of hole 3. And then after that, we had to wait every single shot. We texted, no response. We get to hole 15. There is a marshal. I'm assuming he's a marshal. He's wearing a black shirt. Says PDGA, whatever. I'm assuming that's a marshal. He's in a golf cart. Why heck is he in a golf cart? We tell him, hey, did you say anything to the group in front of us? He said, no. Is there something going on? And we're like, yes, there's no one in front of them. There's no one on hole 17. There's no one on hole 18. It's just them. And this is causing a backup for everyone behind us, right? It's not just us. It's causing a backup for everyone behind us. He goes, oh, no, I didn't see that. And then we said, and then I think we said something along the lines of like, are you going to say anything to them? Whatever. And he's like, oh, you're good. We keep walking. Guess where he drives? In the opposite direction, Yuli. He's on vacation.
He's gone.
So then we get to the end of our round and I start talking, the PDGA guy's out there, he walks out and I immediately say, do you guys not care about pace of play? Do you have no one that is paying attention to pace of play? And he was very quick and not wanting to have a public conversation about it. So we had to go into the clubhouse and he was very adamant about like, what was the name of the guy that you talked to? I don't know. You think I know all the PDGA people? I have no idea. Why does that matter? And he apparently said that he was the one, get this, Yuli. He said that he had been monitoring pace of play all day. Guess what I saw him doing? We finished early, by the way. I had an early tee time. There was a ton of people on the course. Yeah. Guess what I saw that person that was monitoring pace of play doing 3 minutes after I saw him?
What?
Just chatting it up with some people outside. Just chit-chatting.
Well, maybe he had just checked his phone and everything was good.
Fair enough. Ezra also made a post about it.
I saw that. Yeah.
It's just not good, man. It's literally not good. Why do we have people that are marshals that are in golf carts on a golf course that can literally, if you've ever played golf before and you're in a golf cart, you can get to every hole in under 5 minutes. You really can. You can zip around and get to pretty much every hole in under 5 minutes. And so if you see a gap starting to happen, there should never be a 2-hole gap ever. There should never be a 2-hole gap. As soon as you see a 1-hole gap, you should be beelining it to that group and telling them you need to catch up to the group in front of you. You need to do it. So I don't know. That's all I have to say is, hey, if any of you guys pay real quick, throw a hands in the chat if you are a PDGA member. real quick. Last thing I'll say, throw hands up in the chat if you are a PDGA member. I am, so my hands up. Ron 6997, Frank, Ian. Okay, a couple people. Eddie says not me. On behalf of all the PDGA people, I just want to say thank you for spending your money so that they can go to Lynchburg and have a great vacation. And I'll leave it at that. Ron says you're welcome. Oh, man. All right. Well, Silas, do we have any good questions to finish on? I just had to get that off my chest. I'm sorry. Christopher says I will continue to support vacations. Silas, do we got any good questions here?
Nah, I think we need to...
All trash questions?
No, we need to ask some more. We need some more coming through.
Oh, better questions. Silas wants better questions.
Yeah.
All your original questions were trash. We'll answer 3 questions here. We'll answer 3 questions.
Now I gotta go. 3 questions. I'm gone.
Yeah, I'm gone too. What the heck? I've already canceled myself 4 times tonight. Burnt banana. I bought a gold VIP and the only real benefit to it was the VIP parking near the competitors. Other than that, I should have just bought a Okay, that wasn't a question, but yes, that is another problem is there's really no enforcement. If you're like paying a bunch of money for VIPs, there's just a lot of people that just can be a VIP without paying. Should you okay, I'm not No, I'm not doing anything with the PGA board. No, that you guys want me to die at the age of 60? That's what you would do. My heart won't be able to take it. Because I'll tell you right now, I'm in a position of no power. Imagine being put in a position that you think you should have power and you still have no power. That's what you would be doing.
Oh, Brodie, Edwin makes a great point. There was an AC trailer. There was an AC trailer on the
that's fire.
18th hole for the VIP.
That person apparently did not know about that because that's fire. Brodie is right about pace of play. There's no drama in the live coverage if Lee. Yeah, what are we doing here? So, real quick, Yuli. Why are we having guys already finish the tournament and then Lee Card is like the only one on the course for the last like 4 holes?
Silly.
What are we doing?
Isn't it the camera? Isn't it like the broadcast things? They're like waiting for camera people to move or something?
They shouldn't though, Silas. That's the whole point is like
shouldn't be a problem.
They shouldn't be able to know what they need to score. Like it's way more drama filled if they're on hole 15 and the group in front of them is on hole 16. You don't know what they're going to do in front of you. I don't know. That's crazy. Were you guys aware of the shuttle from 1 to 10 or 17 to 11? It was displayed. Yeah, I did hear about that. That was a nice benefit. Wait. Oh, wait. It was displayed on the course map, but consisted of a single golf cart.
Bro, it was trash.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh, I thought that was a good thing. I was trying to say that was a good thing.
No, I don't think I saw it once, and I was there like every day. I don't think I saw it once. That was trash. I mean, if you were on hole 10, your best bet is to just walk the rest of the course.
What about you? Did you have a good time, Silas, out there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
good.
I had a great time. Yeah.
All right, Shay. Shay said, I heard VIP passes got free wasp repellent. I don't think wasp repellent would do anything if you step in the nest. All right, last question. Here we go. Do you think Isaac being with Prodigy is bad for the sport? He sells nothing at Prodigy, but would sell out at Discraft. Ooh, good question.
Bad for the sport?
Definitely not. I would say definitely not.
Are you gonna? Oh, your answer is definitely not.
Yeah, I don't think he's bad for the sport at all. It's just Prodigy doesn't know how to market him. Prodigy, it's not
100%. Yeah,
it's not on Isaac.
It's not bad for the sport. It is. You are who you're sponsored by. Who cares?
Yeah, like there are really good athletes that are sponsored by really weird companies, and it's like no one really cares.
Yeah.
Would Brodie get himself canceled less if he slept more? I sleep just fine. All right.
I sleep like a baby.
I just don't have a filter, Yuli. That's the only thing. All right. If you want to go to a podcast that has filters, there's plenty of them out there. This is not a podcast with a filter. All right. I'm just going to say what I think.
It's tour life. Tour life isn't filtered.
Either agree with it or don't. I don't personally care. I'll still give you a high five.
You think I'm filtered?
I don't think you're. I think you're calculated in certain areas.
Kind of coast.
I think you're calculated in certain areas, and in other areas you're unfiltered.
All right.
Certain areas you're calculated. I'm unfiltered. But that's also because I don't give a rip. And you have a higher standing in Discraft. I mean, you're a little bit more involved in that way. So I don't think anyone faults you for it. But I think you are more unfiltered than most people would think you would be. I'll say that. So I'll give you kudos to that.
I don't think calculated is opposite of filtered. So
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I got you.
I don't think you ever say anything that you don't believe, but I also think that sometimes you don't say everything that you do believe.
Right.
Which I think is completely fair. All right. Well, there you have it, folks. Whether you like it or not, you're here and you're listening to it. It's always fun when we go back and forth. It doesn't happen very often, but I love it when it does.
Same.
We got to get you on debate night, man. We got to get you on debate night.
I'd love to.
Also, Silas, Yuli, last week was bad. We completely forgot. Well, not forgot. We just stopped tracking Grip Locked because we had surpassed their sales.
Yeah.
Turns out they ended up doing a couple disc drops. We're way behind.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, we're toast right now.
We are getting crushed. So what that means is we need new stuff. We need new chalants. We need something fiery on the site for the people. I think we need Blurry Horse. We need some Blurry Horse merch. Maybe like a Baby Yuli merch. That could go well. I don't know. Like Yuli, like with one of those suckers.
A pace of play.
Pace of play with a stopwatch.
Yeah.
We need something. Blame the Wasps. Someone said Brodie got buzzed.
That's a good one. I like that a lot.
Oh man. All right. We'll come up with something. Me and Silas, we need to put our brains together and come up with some more things.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you the number. We're at 546 right now.
Which is good. Which is good. Grip Locked
is at 582 right now.
Oh,
here's the thing.
That's a
Yuli, their ceiling is so high, we can't compete. They have a higher ceiling.
We're going to destroy them.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another edition of Tour Life. I said it was going to be a quick one tonight. Normally when I say that, it goes over 2 hours. So send good vibes over to Yuli. At any moment, he's going to turn into a dad.
Yep.
Like this. Any moment could happen. So send good vibes over there. We always appreciate it. We had over 1,000 people in the entire show tonight. Love seeing you guys
That's awesome.
live in the chat. Appreciate all our Tour Life crew members. We see you. We appreciate you. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple during your drive or whatever, and you're just, every time I talk about something, you're just shoving your fist, wanting to punch me in the face. We appreciate all opinions. Thank you so much. And we'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.